just cut a light out? It looked like it was this shit was way brighter just a second ago. How my shit look so dark? Anyway, it's shit. It's Wednesday, November 13th, man. If the screen is dark, I apologize. I'm trying to get done with the video though, so I'm gonna knock this out real quick. Oh man, I started thinking about this shit. My shit fresh too, bro. Alright, we're gonna go over the trade today. I'm getting tired of coming on camera and starting off the video saying that I broke my rules and I overtraded. I'm getting so tired of saying that shit, bro. I swear to God I am, bro. But I did. So, once again, we're gonna be going over the trade and how I should have executed it. I'm not even gonna make this video extra super long and drawn out, because I know what I'm doing wrong, and at this point, I just gotta want to do better, like, literally. But we still ended the day in the green, and everything wound up working out for us in our favor at the end of the day. But I fucked up, and I'm not gonna act like I didn't. That being said, let's get into the trade for the day. So we come to the 4-hour chart. Let me come back to 6 o'clock, replay it real quick. It's 10 o'clock p.m. All right, if we come to the 4-hour chart, this was at 10 o'clock p.m. Okay, this is at 6 a.m. So on the 4-hour chart, we can see that our levels have pretty much been the same for the whole week. We got a 4-hour resistance right here, 4-hour liquidity support right here, 4-hour liquidity resistance up here. We go down to the 1-hour chart. Is this the right day? Okay, this is for Tuesday actually. Let me go to Wednesday. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Okay, now we at the right spot. All right. So we had our 4-hour liquidity support right here that turned into resistance. As we see this long rejection wick. 4-hour liquidity resistance right here. More 4-hour liquidity resistance, okay? This is what we seeing on a 6 o'clock time frame. We're not gonna make it complicated. It is what it is, okay? This is what I saw on a 1-hour chart coming to the market. So like I said, resistance right here. We kept that resistance marked up because of this strong rejection wick that we have right here. Move this mic a little bit, right? We got our fair value gap right here that we got marked up. 4-hour liquidity resistance. Simple. Those are our higher time frame analysis. Those are higher time frame key levels. All right, y'all know I'm going straight down to the 15-minute just to check things out. We can see the market has been pretty rangy. And let's go back to the 1 hour really quickly. I had a bearish bias because of this right here. We can see that the market has been pushing down. So my bias was definitely bearish, but like I said, I never trade strictly just off of bias. I pay attention to price action. But we got a higher high, lower high, another lower high, another lower high, and then that wick right here, but this still is a lower high. So the market looked rangy, but at the same time it looked bearish, and it looked like, based on what I was seeing, that price, we were in between yesterday's highs and yesterday's low. So in my opinion, I was thinking that maybe price wants to come and tap yesterday's low and fill in this fair value gap below and also get London's lows. So that's the impression that I was underneath, all right? We got London's lows right here marked up, and we got London's highs right here marked up. We had news today at 9:45, so let me go to Forex Factory real quick so I can show you news. News at 9:45 today, 9:45 a.m. And I made the same mistake that I made yesterday, kind of getting into the charts a little bit too early and not waiting until after news. I don't know what be going on with me as soon as I sit down at the chart. I know what it is though, to be honest. I'm going through detachment. I'm going through a fucking breakup. Like, my emotions ain't right. So let me just stop acting like I don't fucking know. Like, I probably should not be trading right now, but I'm just married to the game and I'm trying to numb my pain. But market been kicking my ass trying to do that. Not even gonna lie, I gotta keep that shit so brief. So when I look back at this shit in a year or two, and I moved out to Florida and I done did what the fuck I need to do, and I'm finally figured this shit out, I'm gonna be like, damn, bro, it was worth it. But anyway, it's 9:30, right? So let's just I know I wasn't supposed to be trading until after 9:45. So it's 9:30. We on a 3-minute chart. London's lows, London's highs. We know what I'm looking for when it comes to the trade, right? We know that I'm looking for a run or a sweep on liquidity, a market structure shift or a break in structure, and a valid break and retest of a key level or a fair value gap. So let's talk about today and what was interesting about today. 9:33. All right. We filled in this. Look at this fair value gap. We had a fair value gap right here, a bullish fair value gap, right? Let me come back. Yeah. So we had a bullish fair value gap. Once I saw that fair value gap get inverse, my bearish bias was pretty much kind of confirmed for the most part, right? So 9:33. What time is this? All right, we hold in. What time is this? 9:45. So this is 9:45. This is the news at 9:45. The interesting thing about this trade is that we didn't get any crazy run or sweeps on liquidity, right? We got sell side liquidity right here. So let me mark that up actually. But we didn't have any liquidity. The liquidity that I like to use is either going to be London's highs or lows or yesterday high and low. That's what I like to use to trade. But we can see that we had sell side liquidity right here that did get swept. So at 9:45, we could have used this as our liquidity sweep, but I really didn't take that into consideration. The thing that I took into consideration was that when the market opened, we inversed this bullish fair value gap, which let me know that we had a lot of selling pressure. So I used that on top of us having an inverse on a bullish fair value gap. We are also at an hourly key level, right? We're also at an hourly key level. So it's like we got two key levels right here. We got a fair value gap and we got a key level. So it was like, even though I don't have the cleanest sweep on liquidity, we swept sell side right here, and we're at a key level with an inversion, a bullish fair value gap inversion. So I'm like, all right, where is the liquidity at this point, right? It's 9:45. The liquidity is below, all right? London session was crazy, but London came and took all of this buy side liquidity, right? And then we came up to this level, this 4-hour liquidity resistance, and we immediately rejected off of that. And we did not come grab this liquidity from yesterday's high. So I'm like, okay, we grabbed this liquidity and now we're coming down bearish. I'm like, where we inverse the bullish fair value gap at another 4-hour liquidity resistance. It's 9:45. The 9:45 news is already played out. What most likely is the place that the market wants to grab liquidity from? London's lows, yesterday's lows, and its fair value gap below. So it was 3 areas that the market could have grabbed liquidity from. That's what made me more prone to take this sell, right? So 9:45 came, the news. We got this break of candle coming out of this fair value gap. So let me mark this up. This is gonna be our hourly key level break and retest right here, right? We also inversed that bullish fair value gap prior, so that's just something that I kept in mind, right? And then we broke that candle. We actually did retest that fair value gap. We actually came back up and did retest this fair value gap, right? Look, we came and we tested that, we wicked at it. So go back up and make that even clearer too. This is gonna be our bearish fair value gap. All right. So now, Now we got a break and retest off an hourly key level and a fair value gap. We wicked that and we came down. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get in at the break of this level. We broke it, boom, bombs away. So we got a break and retest our hourly key level. We got a fair value gap, break and retest. And on top of that, this was a market structure shift to the downside. Break and structure to the downside. So today, our criteria was not met in a specific order, and the setups have been pretty trash. I am not gonna lie. The setups have been kind of trash this week, but this is where kind of like experience comes in and just knowing what moves the market comes in. Because let me go back just to 945 real quick. We can see we have this liquidity right here. The liquidity was right here and it swept. Structure needed to be broken for us to get into this trade. We needed a valid break and retest of a key level or a fair value gap. And the run or sweep on liquidity, for me at least, was going to come after we got our break and retest and our break of structure. So it was an interesting day, and I'm not gonna just sit up here and say that this was the best trade to take. I'm not gonna lie and say that. But you had to work with what the market gave you. The trade wound up going for, let me see, did it go for a 1 to 3? It just barely got a 1 to 3, 91 pips. And we did come back down and grab yesterday's low, but not quite right here. But we did wind up coming back down and grabbing it. I'll play it out. It went through some shit first, but okay. It did, but you would have got stopped out beforehand. I ain't gonna lie. So let's not even talk about it. But, and that's another thing to notice too. Just because I thought that the market was gonna come all the way down, it didn't go all the way down. It just barely missed it, and then it reversed. So this was the move that I was supposed to take today. The move that I actually wound up taking, I over leveraged. I did everything wrong. The move that I actually wound up taking was right here though. And I'm gonna explain why I took this move. I'm gonna explain why I took this move real quick, and then I'm going to end the video. All right. The reason why I took this buy right here, so y'all see where I'm at. The reason why I took that buy and that saved my ass is because look, even though we didn't tap quite into this yesterday's lows, if we look at the, let's just even go to the hour. Let's just go to the hour. We can see that this was in a fair value gap, right? This fair value gap was not full yet. So let me just move that all the way up. The fair value gap, I like to move it to where the candles have already touched, but let's just keep it right here. Price came down and wicked this hourly fair value gap and immediately came back out of it, right? So in my mind, I'm like, all right, we came down and we wicked this fair value gap. Price 9 times out of 10 wants to reverse and head back up because we got yesterday's lows right here that we didn't touch, but we got the hourly fair value gap, and it also is a daily fair value gap, right? So with me knowing, okay, this is a daily fair value gap and an hourly fair value gap, what's the chances if we got that long rejection wick? What's the chances of price continuing to go down, right? So that was just a really great level of support for me, in my opinion. And once I saw this strong rejection wick, I was like, all right, bet. I'm gonna go ahead and get into that trade. I think I was watching this on a 1 minute. I think I saw this break a structure to the upside right here. We broke this structure. And once I saw that we were trying to break that structure, This is a market structure shift. Once I saw that the market structure was shifting to the upside, I was like, okay, it's risky and I'm not supposed to be doing it, it's wrong. But based on technical analysis, this is not a bad setup. So that's why I got in and took these buys. We got a strong rejection wick off of the 1 hour fair value gap that was bullish, a daily fair value gap that was bullish. We had already came down and taken out all of this sell side liquidity from London's lows. We didn't grab yesterday's lows, but we got quite close to it. The market ain't gonna be 100% perfect all the time. So once I saw that we had took all of this sell side liquidity for the most part, and we had that support off of those key levels, I said, let me get in and take this buy. And I took that buy and I got really over leveraged on my account, but it wound up working out for me and we ended the day green. So I know that was a mouthful. How long is this video? It's 16 minutes. So I'm gonna end the video off right here. That was a pretty long video. Like I said, it's another day of me trading the wrong way. I don't know. But as far as it goes, it's day 3, and as far as it goes for the 100K account, I'll log in real quick so we can keep track of what's been going on and where I'm at with it. As far as it goes for the 100K account, I'm up like 50%. I got another 3 bands to make, and then I will be back funded finally. So the biggest thing for me right now is just not to self-destruct. And let's just go ahead and play this out so we can see how far this trade really winded up going. And I would have got stopped out. I would have got grazed out right there had I not gotten out of my position at the right time. But the market winded up using that daily bullish fair value gap, and look how far the market winded up going up. So like I said, man, if you know your technicals, then you'll be fine, man. If you know your levels, you'll be fine. You can make the appropriate trades. My biggest thing right now is just being patient, and on top of being patient, being disciplined, and being able to sit in my trades and letting them play out to their fullest capability. But I'm gonna end the video off right here. I hope my ideology behind the reason why I took this sell made some sense. And if not, shit, go back and try to make sense of it. But yeah, 6 rings effect. Tomorrow is gonna be the last trading day for the week. It's gonna be Thursday. Overall, it's been a bad week execution-wise, but when it comes to technicals and just paying attention to the levels and the draws on liquidity, it's been a pretty good week. Price action hasn't been moving beautiful, but it's been doing what it needs to do. So with that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Hopefully we have a good trading day, whether we win or lose money. Being that I'm already up 260 or 3,268, I'm probably just gonna risk 250 tomorrow, being that I've had such a bad week and running like that. But 6 rings effects, I'll see y'all on the next video, man.